telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Start your day the joyful way. It's your weekday morning talk show inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes. And now here's your host, the queen of joy herself, Jessica Dugas. Good Monday morning, everybody. I hope you are doing well today. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I'm super excited to be here with you for another episode of Project Joy Live this morning. I woke up to the tea this morning, you guys. I did not watch the Oscars last night, but I woke up to the tea this morning. Wow. That's all. That's all I have to say about that. I have things to say, but I'm working up to that. I'm working up to that. You guys, we have a really exciting show today because it's not just me on the show today. Obviously, you are involved here on the show as always, but I also have a very special guest. Roebeck is here this morning, and he is incredible, you guys. He has such a powerful story of survival, of triumph, and he is going to be sharing with us 3 things that helped him, a 3-step process, 3-step mindset, if you will, that helped him to survive a carjacking. Y'all, he was in a trunk for hours. He told me this whole story, and I said, you have to come on Project Joy and share it, because we're always talking about that on this show. We're always talking about how, you know, we do have, even though it's challenging, we do have the ability to find the joy in literally every situation, to serve, not just survive, but thrive in every situation that we are presented with. And so I loved his story, because if he could find something in that moment, I assure you we can find it in every moment. We just have to choose. And again, no one's saying that it's easy. No one is saying that it's not a challenge, that it's not a muscle that we have to work. But I'm super excited that he's here today. Listen, if you are joining us live or on the replay right now, I would love for you to head over to the comments. Let me know where you're joining from. And of course, what is bringing you joy today? Because it's Project Joy, you guys. We got to know what's bringing you joy. I have some joy to share with you this morning. So went out with the family yesterday. My oldest had to work, so now we're in this season of life where he's working, and so he doesn't get to go on all the fun field trips with the rest of us in the family all the time. And so but we had the younger 5 kids. We went to play mini golf and had some, shaved ice. And then there was this really cool crystal store that we went to, which is more rare here in Alabama to find stores like that. But it was incredible. And you guys, I found my birthday gift for next year. See, my birthday just passed in February. Um, so you've got time. You've got time. There was a giant amethyst tree. Okay. So many it was sitting like the leaves of the tree were all amethyst. I'm telling you, it's bigger than I could have had on the camera here this morning. Um it was huge, and it was sitting on like a amethyst bed as well. And it was like I just had to touch it, like I had to stand there and be with it for a minute, y'all. I was so in love. I was in love. And so my birthday is coming up in, in 10 months. You have 10 months, okay. But it was a lot of fun. We went there, and outside of this crystal store was a giant T-Rex. And as many of you know, as I've shared 100 times, my youngest is obsessed with dinosaurs right now. And so she went up and literally hugged the T-Rex several times. And so that was a lot of fun as well. And so that was the first time the younger ones had played mini golf. And so we had a lot of fun. There was animals there, lots to do, and they had a great time. So it was a nice family day out yesterday. Also bringing me joy, I was so excited. Kevin Kiley's music video premiered for Was It Ever Love on Saturday. It has been my pleasure to be his acting music manager at the moment. And so it's been so cool to watch his music evolve over time, but he's still staying true to who he is, which I love. And we are going to be playing Was It Ever Love for You coming up here later on this morning, before we do birthdays before the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. What else is going on? So as I mentioned, the Oscars were on last night. Full disclosure, I did not watch the Oscars. I got up this morning to the tea though, and sometimes sometimes that's better than watching itself. But there was a couple of things I wanted to know. First of all, you guys will I don't know, let me know if you watched the Oscars last night. Did you watch the Oscars? Yes or no? Let me know. I see you guys out there in the comments. I'm gonna say good morning in just a minute. Let me know if you watched the Oscars last night. If you didn't, there was an altercation where Chris Rock got onto the stage and made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. And people thought that this was just a stunt, but Will Smith proceeded to go up on the stage and slap Chris Rock. And I was y'all can go look up the drama with that. But now there's question is he good? And then Will Smith went on to win his first Oscar later on that night, and cried and said he was sorry and all of this stuff. But now there's a whole thing of, is he going to be able to keep his Oscar? Nobody knows what's going to happen yet. I do know that that Chris Rock so far is not pressing charges or anything. It's interesting because with the start of the Oscars, the beginning of the show, there's always like a long comedy bit, and there's always some really tongue-in-cheek comedy. There's some pretty borderline of what's appropriate and what's not comedy at the start of every award show. And so it's something that I think people have gotten used to. And so it begs the question, how far is too far? It begs the question of, my husband was like, some of y'all didn't see it. I see that. There is a standard for behavior, I feel like, in public, and when we say that, it doesn't take away from whether or not something was appropriate enough to be said. I think part of the huge part of the huge uh, topic that we talk about so often here on Project Joy is the multifaceted nature of things. So by saying this was a really inappropriate thing to say, it was a horrible joke to make, whatever it was, you can also at the same time say that it was widely inappropriate for someone to go up on stage and physically assault somebody. Not okay at all. And so it does speak to, we have to have that conversation of crime and punishment. We say all the time, you are free to do certain things, but you are not free from the consequences of that action, whatever those consequences are. And by consequence, I don't mean negative. I mean just the result of. Consequence is the result of. So interesting. Anyway, but what I really want to talk about as well is that Coda won Best Picture, and it's the first film to win Best Picture from a streaming service. I believe that I have not watched the show, so full disclaimer with that, but I believe it's on Apple TV. And so that's really exciting for people like myself, people like the other hosts of the Breakthrough Show Network and E360 TV, that all of these self-produced streaming service shows are being recognized now for awards. And it was so exciting and really an amazing moment for the Oscars last night. I heard there was a lot of good music. I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch the full show eventually, because y'all know I love music, and there was a lot of moments that I would like to catch, but I did wake up to the tea this morning and I had to talk about that. So I would encourage you that as you are listening to the tea and rewatching the Oscars, and to a couple things. One, it's TV and it's Hollywood, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And number two, remember when anything like this happens, to think about the very multifaceted nature of people, of things, of any of it. To remember that there are multiple sides to things, and we as humans are naturally going to take a side, but we also have to remember that there's inappropriateness, and all. The whole thing was inappropriate if you ask me, but that's that's another topic for another time. All right. So I want to go through and say good morning really quickly before we take our break, because I have to get to our special guest this morning. Miss Brittany is here today. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you. Kevin Kiley, of course, is here this morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to be checking out Was It Ever Love video coming up later in the show. Miss Angelique is here this morning from Divine DNA. Good morning. Anne Marie is here this morning. Good to see you. And Kevin loves the stores like that. Listen, I get lost in those stores. We were talking about the crystal stores this morning. Anne Marie did not watch the Oscars last night. Susie Elliott is here this morning. Good morning, Susie. It's good to see you. There's a lot of opinion coming in this morning about the situation last night. Listen, there's always so many different sides to things, you guys. And I encourage you, I'm going to say the last time, I encourage you to, you can ask yourself these questions. If you feel like the jokes and all of that at the Oscars go too far, you do have the choice to not watch, right? You have the choice to not watch, because the best way that we can change opinions is with our time, our energy, and our money. Okay. So if you don't like something, don't watch, don't use your energy, don't use your money, any of that stuff. Okay. So anyway, That's the tea this morning. That's all I've got to say about that. We're going to take a quick break, you guys. We are going to learn about the Breakthrough Show Network, of course. But this morning, as you know, we've been sharing a series of different versions of the For Love poem by Dorothy O'Shea. And this morning we are listening to the first version of Swedish by Katarina Eskilsson. And she is fantastic and is going to be reading the For Love poem on our way back. And then we are going to talk to Lee Roebeck. So we'll be right back after this. You guys don't go anywhere. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
För kärleken. Mitt budskap är kärleken. Även med en trasig själ. Även med ett tungt vägande hjärta. Mitt budskap är kärleken. För denna sårade värld. Inte bara där jag befinner mig. Där jag för det mesta är trygg. Där jag för det mesta mår bra. Utan för hela vår värld. Varje dag. Mitt budskap är kärleken, därför att vi behöver mera ljus, inte fler döda, inte mer makt, inte fler bomber. Mitt budskap är kärleken. För att våra barn ska kunna känna sig trygga, för att skydda våra vänner, för att hålla våra gränser öppna. Mitt budskap är kärleken, även med en trasig själ, även med ett tungt vägande hjärta.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I'm super excited to be with you on this beautiful, almost the end of March. Where did March go? I don't know. I have no idea. But it is Monday, March 28th, 2022, here in the US of A. The more I talk to people around the world, the more I realize when I say what day it is, it's not always that day elsewhere. And then we have a whole moment of me trying to figure out what day it is. I can't. I try so hard. I'm really excited to have a special guest on the show this morning. I was introduced to him by the fabulous Shiraz. Y'all know we love Shiraz here. And when he was telling me the story, I said, you have to come on to Project Joy and share about this, because it speaks to the very multifaceted nature of things that we talk about all the time here on the show. So without further ado, please welcome Lee Roebeck to the show. Good morning.
Jessica, good morning. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. I'm well. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Well, tell everybody where you're joining from today, because clearly you do not have any kind of American accent. Tell people where you're joining from this morning.
So I'm joining you guys from Johannesburg, South Africa. Yeah, that's where I'm joining from.
Good weather today, or what is it like this time of year where you are?
So we're moving into our autumn season now, so it's starting to get a bit colder. But generally, you know, in Africa it's warm, right? So
Yeah.
so
Poor
the weather,
thing.
I'd
Let's
say the
all
weather's
feel bad
fair.
for Lee. Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, you have been a coach trained by Bob Proctor, and are really into helping people, which I loved when I got to know you a little bit. But you have a really powerful story to share this morning, and I would love for you to tell us about this incident that happened, and then we'll get into how you kind of survived it or thrived through it.
Sure. Okay, so back in January 2019, Jessica, I was carjacked here in Johannesburg, South Africa. So for those of you that are tuning in from all over the world, hijackings or carjackings are very prevalent in South Africa. It happened on a Sunday afternoon at about 2:15, and it happened at a shopping center close to where I stay. So anyway, I pulled into the parking lot of the shopping center, and Sunday afternoon, so all the stores were closed, but there was a furniture store there, and I hopped out of the car. I was looking at dining tables through the window because we had just moved into a new place. So I was looking for a dining table. The next minute, this gray Volkswagen Golf pulls into the parking lot with blue lights on the dashboard. So I obviously thought it was an unmarked police vehicle. But instantly, my intuition, my gut told me something's not right here. Well, anyway, these guys pulled into the parking lot, and they rolled down the passenger side window, and the driver said out of the window to me, he said, you know, we just got a call that someone's trying to break into one of the stores here. And the next minute, the passenger in front and the passenger behind the driver both jumped out with firearms in their hands. One coming to me from the left front and the other one from the right-hand side. Well, anyway, the guy from the left front came up to me and he asked me, where's your car keys? Where are your car keys? And he started tapping my pocket. So I showed him, you know, that the key was in my right pocket. So he took the key out of my pocket, and these two guys then proceeded to bundle me into the trunk, Jessica, of
Wow.
the car I was driving that Sunday afternoon. I was driving a little Volkswagen Polo, and I'm 6.5 foot tall, and these guys literally bundled me into the trunk of that car. Now, to be honest with you, the first 10 minutes was really tough, you know, just to calm myself or just to gain control of my thinking. But what happened is 10 minutes later, they transferred me into the trunk of their car, into the Golf, and at least there was a bit more leg room in there. But what started happening in the trunk of their car, I'm a mindset coach, right? So obviously, as you know, Jessica, in our sort of business, you can't give what you don't have. So I've been working with Bob since December 2016, Bob Proctor, and I've been internalizing ideas around mindset, controlling the mindset for many years now. So what started happening in the trunk of that car was ideas and stories started playing on the screen of my mind that I want to share with your listeners in the hope that these tools help you. Now, the first thing, very handy thing that came up lying in the trunk of that car was I run a 6-month coaching program called Thinking into Results. And lesson 9 in that program is a lesson on attitude. And in the video of that lesson, Bob Proctor talks about a man by the name of Viktor Frankl. Now, Viktor Frankl was a Viennese psychiatrist who spent the war years in a Nazi concentration camp. He spent years in Auschwitz. If you are familiar with Viktor Frankl, please drop a 1 in the comment section. And, you know, Bob in the video, he says that Viktor Frankl said in the worst circumstance, you can search for meaning, or you can try and find meaning to life. Now, I want you to think about that for a moment. We know what happened in those concentration camps. This man literally lost his entire family there. And he says that regardless of the intellectual and physical abuse that they subjected him to, he could still choose to hold a positive picture on the screen of his mind. Viktor Frankl referred to it as the last of human freedoms was your and my ability to think. So I'm lying in the trunk of this car, and this plays in my mind, and I'm thinking, gosh, Lee, this is a tough spot that you find yourself in. But relative to what that man went through, this is probably a walk in the park. If he could hold a positive picture on the screen of his mind, surely you can try. So that's the first thing that came up. The second thing, which this was extremely handy, and if you've got a notepad and a pen in front of you, I want you to write these next 3 steps down. Now, there's a speaker from the West Coast of America, from California, a speaker you might be familiar with. He was part of the hit runaway movie The Secret, a speaker by the name of Michael Bernard Beckwith. And Beckwith has a 3-step approach to anything negative that you might be going through. So we're talking about generating joy, right? Flipping the script. And the first step in Beckwith's approach, I'm lying in this car, the first step in his approach is, it is what it is, accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it, at least from a mental perspective. Now, to be honest, very early on in that experience, I gave it over to the universe and I said, Dad, you running the show here, whether I make it out of this dead or alive, accept the outcome because you're in control. I mean, 4-armed guys, what was I really going to do? The second step in Beckwith's approach is harvest the good. Now, there's good in everything. If you're looking for it, you're going to find it. Now, you probably sitting there, maybe behind your computer, your phone, your tablet, and thinking to yourself, gosh, Lee, what was the good in that situation? Because I was looking for it, I found it. My 4-year-old son, Jessica, was with me that weekend. He could so easily have been with me at 2:15 on that Sunday afternoon. Thank goodness he was at home. He was safe. My sister was supposed to come with me to look at these dining tables. Thank goodness she didn't make it. She was also at home and she was safe. So that was something immediately I could start celebrating. The third step in Beckwith's approach is forgive all the rest. Forgive means to let go of completely, abandon. And because these 3 steps played in my mind, lying in the trunk of that car, I could start praying for these guys. You know, I prayed, Jessica, I prayed for their parents. I prayed for their kids, even though there was a possibility they were going to take me away from my boy. I prayed that they'd find a way to make it out of that sort of lifestyle, to make a meaningful difference in the world. Now, I'm not sharing that with you to impress you, but rather to impress upon you that regardless of what's happening on the outside, you can still maintain control of what's happening inside, right? And all of the great leaders of the past, they've disagreed on virtually everything, but they've all agreed that you and I become what we think about. So you want to maintain this inner control. Well, anyway, Jessica, they let me go 3 hours later at the back of one of the big hospitals here in Johannesburg called Baragwanath. It's in a township called Soweto that you might be familiar with. It was actually where Nelson Mandela lived. And when they let me go, I phoned a family member, Keenan, to fetch me. And when Keenan got there, he looked at me and he said, gee whiz, I cannot believe how calm you are. And just one other thing that I want to share with your audience is probably the reason I was as calm as I was. I was part of a group of about 25 mindset coaches, speakers from around the world. And we had a 90-day challenge where we were rewriting a chapter called Serenity from James Allen's little book called As a Man Thinketh. So we'd meet every day on a Zoom call and we were literally rewriting this chapter. You know, if you get today 17 and you miss a day, you got to start back at day 1. The goal is obviously to get to day 90. And I joined this group on the 24th of October 2018. And this incident happened on the 13th of January 2019. So I had been internalizing ideas on calmness, self-control, equanimity, this inner strength for 79 days. And that's probably the reason I was as calm, as keen, and seen. Now, these 3 tools had me mentally spiraling up in the trunk of that car. I imagine if I never had those 3 tools, Jessica, I'd have been mentally spiraling down and I'd have jumped out at the back of that hospital, an absolute emotional wreck. Does mindset coaching work? There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that proper elite level mindset coaching definitely does work. It's no rah-rah motivation. We get you up today and you're down tomorrow.
Right.
But why am I telling you and your listeners this story? I think it's because right now with what's happening in Ukraine and, the pandemic over the past couple of years and, people having to pivot in their businesses, some people going out of business and, fear of losing loved ones, fear of ill health. There's a lot of negativity around, right? And regardless of what's happening on the outside of us, of you, just like Viktor Frankl, you can still choose to hold a positive picture on the screen of your mind.
Yeah.
Now, Jessica, if I may, just to bring that story full circle, I'd set a goal in 2014, so a couple of years before this incident, to speak on an international stage. Now, at the time I set the goal, nothing qualified me for it. I was in an IT corporate career, and I set the goal, but then the voices come, right? Like, who's going to listen to you? What are you going to talk to them about? You're just a nobody from the wrong side of the bed. You're all the voices, right? And this very worst thing that could have happened to me turned out to be the very best thing, because it allowed me the opportunity to speak at Bob Proctor's Matrix seminar at the Hilton in Toronto in March 2019. And literally the realization to 110 business owners from all around the world, and literally the realization of this goal to speak on an international stage. Often people are so focused on what's gone wrong or what they've lost and the hurt, that we're not working our way to the other side. If the loss is big or the challenge is big, when you work your way to the other side, the win is just so much bigger. So I'll end with this. One of the greatest success teachers of all time, Napoleon Hill, he said that every adversity, every setback, every challenge that you're going through brings with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. So if you're going through something really tough, maybe you should start being thankful for it, because there's something in there.
So good. So good, Lee. And it really, we always have a choice. And even some of our hot topics that we were talking about at the start of the show, there's always choice. There's always, there may be a situation, but you always have choice on your mindset. You always have choice on how you behave in any certain situation. And I would love to know from the audience that's watching right now, those 3 steps that we talked about, the 3 steps that Lee mentioned: to accept it, to harvest the good, and forgive the rest. I know that the Jacksons were recently talking about forgiveness on Divine DNA a couple weeks ago, and it's such a challenging topic for people. They had one person come on that she was like, I don't forgive. I just don't do it. And I appreciated the honesty, though, because it really is a challenging thing for people. When it came to forgiveness, Lee, after that incident, how did you deal with that with the people that had carjacked you, put you in the trunk, and all? Like, how was that process like for you with forgiveness afterwards?
So I think I've been studying the concept around forgiveness for many years now, Jessica. And I mean, all great religions, any sort of complete, if I can call it, success philosophy will all tell us we have to forgive, right? When I started my journey in personal development, I had a couple of people that I was holding, things onto with regards to what they had done. And I started out initially, and if you struggle with forgiveness, this might work for you. I started out initially, on my drive to work, I'd bring these people that had wronged me across the screen of my mind, and I'd pray for health for them, for financial flow, for happiness, health, and wealth in their lives. And initially, it was tough. Like, it was really tough. Like, I'd literally get hot under the collar when I think of them. But I just stuck with it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And eventually, the resentment started fading away. And here's the thing, right? What you wish for someone else, essentially you're wishing for yourself. Because if we are holding on to unforgiveness, you move yourself into this extremely negative vibration, and you can only attract what's in harmony with that, right? So forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for us. I mean, if you're truly aware, you know that forgiveness or guilt and resentment is two of the most poisonous emotions we can hold on to. And my mentor, Bob Proctor, he says that unforgiveness is like throwing sand into the wind at someone else. We know where that sand is going to end up, right? Or also another popular saying, it's like holding on to a hot coal expecting someone else to burn, but you burn it in the process. Look, it was a process of study and a process of continually applying ideas around trying to pray for individuals, or trying to, and in the process, releasing yourself. I know that answers Jessica.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's such a good topic, because there are so many layers to any situation, and we know that based on your situation with everything that happened, you being in the trunk of the car and thinking of the positive things, or harvesting the good and forgiving and accepting and all of these things, it didn't propel you out of the car. Like, you didn't start thinking positively and then the trunk opened and magically it was over. Like, that's not how it happens. And I think so many people get they just get it twisted that it's by thinking positively that it's going to end whatever is going on. And that's not necessarily the case. It's about asking yourself, what is it that you want to focus on? Where is your energy going, which is where your control is in the moment. Have you had any issues since that moment with memories of it, or has it come up again? Have you seen it play out at all in your life?
Jessica, thank goodness for the mentorship I've received. Thank goodness for, the material that I study, because people that go through it here in South Africa, some of them have to go for therapy for 2 years, or, but it has never been something that's been, plaguing me. I tell the story easily and freely. I actually, standing where I am today now, I'm grateful that that has happened, because firstly, the realization of that goal. I've told this story to hundreds and hundreds of people all around the world. I've spoken at global conventions, BNI's global convention. I had my biggest month in business in the pandemic in 2020 as a result of this story, I believe. So I've gained more, and I've connected with individuals who I might never have reached because of the story. So honestly, it's something that does not haunt me, Jessica. And to be honest, I'm grateful for it today. I honestly am.
I love it. I love it. Brittany said she wishes things were as easy as 1, 2, 3. Like, it just, you think positively and it all ends, and it's butterflies and rainbows after that. It does take work, and it is, it's a choice. It's a choice that we make to where we focus our energy. Alicia was commenting as well. Good morning, Alicia. It's good to see you here today. And she said, great analogy as well. Lee, thank you so much for being here this morning. And I know you had something to share with our audience as well. And I'm going to put it in the comments while you tell everybody what it is.
Sure. So, because that Serenity chapter by James Allen had such a profound impact on my calmness in that experience, shortly after I spoke on stage in Toronto, I went into a recording studio and I had that chapter professionally recorded with some beautiful background music. So it's a serenity meditation audio that I like to gift to your audience. And whoever signs up, I'll invite you to any future webinars or events that I host. So that's a free giveaway, and I hope it serves you. My suggestion is listen to it every day for 30 days if you'd really like to get to a place of calm, this equanimity and poise.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for bringing that for our audience, Lee. I'll put that on the breakthrough show notes this coming Friday as well, so that everybody can take advantage of that. Because we do need to get to that place, and it requires work. And even, like I said, going back, tying all of this into some of the hot topics that we were talking about starting out the show, we always have a choice how we respond. And when we do that inner work, we are more likely to respond in a way that is respectful to the whole situation, to everybody, to ourselves. And one of the things that I have shared with my my teenagers recently is when we are in a situation and we react in a way that is different than that is higher than whatever is going on in the moment with the person that we're responding to, that we're giving away our power when we do that. We're giving away our power when we do that. And we if someone does something to us and we let them deal with what they're dealing with, and then that's something they have to deal with. But when we respond back, when we clap back, when we respond negatively back, that is us giving away our power. And I love what you shared here this morning, Lee. I appreciate you being here and giving us your time and giving us that great gift. I put it in the comments for you guys. You can click on it and go get the Serenity audio. And we appreciate you sharing that with us, Lee, today.
Jessica, thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, you guys, we're going to be right back after this. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to listen to Kevin Kiley's new music video, and we'll finish up the show with some birthdays and other fun stuff. Lee, have a great day.
You as well. Bye, everyone.
All right, guys, we'll be right back after this.
Hey, hands looking a little plain there. That's okay, though. I got you. Just head over to Nail Beauty by Brittany. Wait, don't tell me you don't know who she is. That's okay, that's fine. It's a good thing that ... here. I'm here to tell you. Nail Beauty by Brittany is an upcoming establishment that makes everyone's hands look pretty to boost your confidence throughout your daily basis. You get all these custom nails at a very affordable price. With proper care, these nails can last up to 3 weeks. If you head over to Brittany's social media, you'll see all of the custom nails that she has made thus far at a very affordable price. To receive updates on new nail sets and deals, head over to Miss Brittany's new website at nailbeautybybrittany.com. This company was made by this beautiful young woman here, Miss Brittany. Now y'all go over ahead and get your nails pretty, y'all. I'm showing no film.
Ever since you, I've been keeping my walls up. Ever since you, I've been choking on love like a lump in the back of my throat. And everyone says that I make it look easy, but nobody knows how I'm lying awake from the way that you treated me. Every time the sun shoots by, but you're off my mind. But every time I close my eyes, all I can see is you. Left me hanging on to something that I never had, baby. You got me holding on to hope, even though I've broken you. Let me. My demons live in the hole you left in my heart, but they creep up into my head. things you said, was it ever love, baby? Time to fake a smile to get when I see your friends. Oh, my composure, don't blow it, I won't even ask how you been, cause I don't care, at least I swear it's what I'm telling myself and everyone else. But I'm still lying awake tonight. Every time the sun shoots by, wish you're off my mind. But every time I close my eyes, all I can see is you. Left me hanging on to something that I never had, baby. Got me holding on to hope, even though I've broken you, let me. My demons live in the hole you left in my heart, but they creep up into my head. You make me second guess things you said, was it ever love, baby? You let me shake and I try this again. Yeah, you betrayed me but blamed me, I bet. You left me hanging on to something that I never had, baby. You got me holding on to hope, even though I've broken you, let me. My demons live in the hole you left in my heart, but they creep up into my head. You make me second guess things you said, was it ever love, baby? You left me hanging on to something that I never had, baby. Got me holding on to hope, even though I've broken you, let me. My demons live in the hole you left in my heart, but they creep up into my head. You make me second guess things you said, was it ever love, baby?
Yes, that was the brand new single, Was It Ever Love, from the amazing Kevin Kiley. Don't miss Kevin and I coming up this Thursday, by the way, you guys, for another Throwback Thursday, but we'll be talking about that in just a minute. Julissa is joining us now. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you today. Listen, we have a lot of amazingness coming up on the Breakthrough Show. Wasn't Lee amazing this morning? Let me know if you guys enjoyed Lee's story. If you had any takeaways, I would love for you to head down to the comments now and let me know what are your takeaways from Lee being here with us this morning. We have a lot of amazingness, as I mentioned, coming up on the Breakthrough Show Network this week. I'm really excited about it. 2 ways to get plugged in. First of all, you can join our text community. Text the word breakthrough to 256-685-7092 in the US, Canada, and Puerto Rico. Again, that's 256-685-7092. You can also join us in our Discord server to chat with other fans, meet past guests and hosts from the Breakthrough Show Network, and you get to talk to us there, you guys. My schedule is getting full. My inbox is not always open anymore. It's not how it used to be, but Discord is one of the places that you can do that. You can talk to the Jacksons, you can talk to Shiraz, you can talk to Karen Timer, and more joy today. We have a brand new host on the Breakthrough Show Network, so stay tuned for that release information coming up soon. We're really excited about that. So stay plugged in, you guys. Discord, go over there, and we are having regular chats on how to use Discord. For those of you that are new to that platform, I'm going to go and post it in the comments for you guys right now so you can click and get plugged into our Discord community. So we're really excited about all of that. Okay. Anne-Marie said the project I was working on the computer just disappeared. The only joy is I saved the base part of the project. And, sometimes we have to pick those little things out. When something happens like that, we can choose to say, this is crap, it's done, it happened, and we can get all upset about it, or we can find little pieces of saved things like that. That's such a great example, Anne-Marie, of ways that we can find the joy when it's not necessarily easy to do so. And remember, with all of the stuff that we've been talking about today, finding the joy in something does not erase the wrong. Okay. Finding the joy in something does not make whatever happened okay. All it is a declaration of us choosing to be in our power and spend our energy on something that is going to move us forward as a person, as humanity, as anything, and rather than a step back. That's all it's doing, is choosing the joy, is being in a better vibration. There's a lot of different things, okay? But that's the biggest part, I think, huge takeaway of today's show, right? There's another joy right there, Anne-Marie. The joy is that it was a learning experience too, to save after every new, believe me, my friend, I have been there myself, okay? So we have had lots of goodness on the show today. I would encourage you to join our Discord server or text community, because we have a lot of amazing going on this week. We have Project Joy, of course, every Monday through Friday this week, 7 a.m. Central Time, right here on the Breakthrough Show Network. Coming up this afternoon at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we have an all-new episode of Rewriting Reality with Shiraz. Today, he will be featuring Sue Wilhite, who is a coach for women, and so it'll be interesting to see how she works on Shiraz. Because they're working on each other on the show. It's going to be amazing. Coming up Wednesday, we have an all-new episode of Divine DNA with Donnell and Angelique Jackson, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the soon-to-boom business corner this week on Divine DNA, so don't miss that. Then coming up on Thursday, we have an all-new episode of Throwback Thursday with myself and Kevin Kiley. We have a special guest this week. Ivinder Carlson is going to be joining us from Iceland to talk about the music that makes him smile and the lessons learned throughout. We're going to talk about different genres of music, and you'll see another premiere of Kevin Kiley's video as well. And we'll be talking a little bit about that experience with him. And then coming up on Friday at 12 p.m. Central Time, we have an all-new episode of The Breakthrough Show, Breakthroughs Around the World, conversations with 40 guests from 40 different countries, acknowledging our similarities, honoring our differences, and celebrating our connection. This week, we are going to India with the fabulous Elsa Marie De Silva from the Red Dot Foundation. So excited to talk to her about Indian culture. And also, we're going to be talking about her foundation and the amazing work that she's doing in the world. You guys don't want to, the Breakthrough Show Network is growing, and we're so excited about that. We are so excited about all of the amazing things to come this week. It's going to be incredible. So you don't want to miss it. Here we go. I have got to find my disclaimer here this morning, because I wanted to talk to you really quickly about a couple national holidays before we get to birthdays. Okay. What are you celebrating today? That's what I want to know. Is anybody out there celebrating anything today? And here's your disclaimer to bring a snack. So today is Monday, March 28th, 2022. And as I shared, there are some national days. And the first one is it's National Something on a Stick Day. It's a food holiday that lets you use your creative talents. Once you get started, the possibilities are endless. Foods that come on a stick are fun and easy to eat. There isn't much that can't be put on a stick when talking about food. Soup might be that one exception, though. If it were flavorful frozen, there might be an exception. And no. No, that's all we're talking about. But you can make kebabs, skewers, lots of options. So put something on a stick and eat it today. We had to have a disclaimer for this, you guys, because this is one of my favorite things right here. It is National Black Forest Cake Day. March 28th recognizes a decadent and delicious dessert on National Black Forest Cake Day. And it's a German dessert that has a long name that I'm not even going to try, but it means Black Forest Cherry Torte. Most often, bakers layer several sheets of chocolate cake with whipped cream and cherries between each layer to make a Black Forest cake. They are then decorated with whipped cream, maraschino cherries, and chocolate shavings. Some traditional recipes call for sour cherries between the layer and a Kirschwasser. I can't. A clear liquor distilled from tart cherries added to the cake. In the United States, bakers typically do not use alcohol. The versions I've had, though, have had the liquor in it. So in Germany, it's mandatory. So I don't know. Maybe it's always been mandatory where I've had it before. But so let me know if you are a fan of the black cherries and the chocolate for Black Forest Cake Day. Let me know if that's good. See, Brittany wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. I love it. Everybody's hungry now is what it is. That's all I have for you for snacks today, though. And while in typical fashion, we have national days that are butting heads today. Okay. National days that are butting heads today. It is National Triglycerides Day, boys and girls. National Triglycerides Day shines a spotlight on one of the key factors to a healthy lifestyle. The observance serves as a reminder to patients and practitioners to know about how the hidden risks of triglycerides, learn your numbers, and take steps to bring them to healthy levels. High levels of triglycerides in your blood can be a risk factor for heart disease. They are different from cholesterol, though they are both a type of lipid or fat stored in your blood. They serve different purposes. While triglycerides store unused calories and give the body energy, cholesterol builds cells and some hormones. So we want to make sure that we have healthy triglycerides because it could be indicators of type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, metabolic syndrome like cholesterol, weight, and blood sugar are all a factor, hypothyroidism, and rare genetic conditions. So know your numbers. Know your numbers. You see what I'm talking about, Brittany? They do this all the time. All the time. So there's one more day today, and I have to give you guys a laugh because when I read this, I had a different thought. Okay. It is National Weed Appreciation Day. And I thought to myself, I thought that was on April 20th. That's what I thought. But it is not that kind of weed. Okay. Weed Appreciation Day recognizes the weeds that are part of our ecosystem and that humans have used weeds for food and as herb. We know it's been used as herb, but as recorded history. Some are edible and nutritious while other weeds have medicinal value. One of those, do you remember the fun you had when you were a kid with dandelions? Well, these bright yellow flowers serve a purpose. Dandelions are a food source for insects and some birds, and humans eat young dandelion leaves and enjoy tea and wine made from the leaves and flowers. The Native Americans used dandelions to treat specific ailments. Nutritionally, dandelions contain a source of vitamin A, C, calcium, iron, and fiber. Dandelions, you guys, are amazing as a tea. Okay, does such an important part of healthy kidney function and lots of things like that. So get yourself some dandelion tea. I'm not talking about that kind of you see what happens. I thought, but that's on April 20th, you guys. So we're just a little bit ahead of ourselves today. Weed Appreciation Day is about dandelions and some of the other ones that were mentioned in this article I read. There's several, but you can look up edible and medicinal weeds. Make sure that you are not eating or making tea out of the weeds in your yard that have been treated with pesticides. Okay, really important on this Weed Appreciation Day. I would suggest using hashtag Weed Appreciation Day on your social media timeline and see what people say. Just see what people say. That's all I want you to do. Okay. All right. So that's all we have for our national days today. I hope you will find a way to celebrate in whatever way is meaningful for you. Okay. All right. We have some birthdays. celebrate today. But I also want to mention we lost a really great one over the weekend. If you guys heard, Taylor Hawkins, that was the drummer for Foo Fighters, passed away. That was a tough one for us. My husband is a huge Foo Fighters fan, you guys. I tell you, he listens to Foo Fighters like every morning. And so that was a huge loss in the music community. So we're sending so much love to everybody who is feeling the loss of Taylor Hawkins, and we send lots of love to his family, friends, and of course the rest of the band members of Foo Fighters as well. Like the circle of life, though, we do have birthdays to celebrate today, which I'm really excited about. Lady Gaga's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Lady Gaga. Singer and actress and extraordinary Reba McEntire's birthday is today. Isn't that amazing? I didn't know that Lady Gaga and Reba McEntire shared a birthday. Did you know that? I had no idea. It is also actress Julia Stiles' birthday. She was one of my favorite actresses from back like late 90s era. We had Save the Last Dance, The Prince and Me. I love Julia Stiles. She's amazing. Then also actress Kaylee Fleming, who plays Judith on The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead. I love that character. We are big Walking Dead fans in this house, and Kaylee Fleming is such an incredible actress. She's only 15 years old, you guys, and she's incredible. Actor Vince Vaughn's birthday is today as well. A comedian superhero, in my opinion. Also in the celebrities in my world, Katie Otto's birthday is today. Maureen Guthrie Smith, an old friend from back in school days. Happy birthday, Maureen Guthrie. And also Chris Anino's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Chris Anino. So Katie, Maureen, and Chris, I hope you have an amazing day. Oh, yes. See, Anne Marie knows the tea. We got some other tea there. You guys read that? There's a major weed killer has stock in Heart Meds. Just trying to say, we stopped getting our lawn treated a while ago. For certain, and that's all I'm going to say. That'll be another topic for another time here this morning. 10 Things I Hate About You is my favorite Julia Stiles movie. Angelique says, I like that one. I love Save the Last Dance. I love, as I mentioned, The Prince and Me is one of my absolute favorites, but it does make me sad that that the some of the later some of the later movies, I think it's the third one and on, Julia Stiles isn't in those, and that makes me sad. By the way, Jason is here this morning. I missed, apparently the Toronto Maple Leafs lost on Saturday night versus Canadians, but came back on Sunday 5-2 versus Florida. Okay, so that's good. What the Canadian won on Saturday, Leafs 5-2 versus Florida. Okay, thank you for filling us in, Jason, and I'm glad to see you here this morning. Let's get our birthdays on, you guys, so we can get about our week. Here we go. Nope, can't do that. No sound. No sound. Try again. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lady Gaga, Reba McEntire, Julia Stiles, Kaylee Fleming, Vince Vaughn, Katie Otto, Maureen Smith, and Chris Anino. Happy birthday to you. Yes, I hope you guys have an amazing birthday today. Also, let me backtrack really quickly here, you guys, because I totally forgot that we have to talk about Sunday. We have to talk. You don't talk about Bruno. That's stuck in my head too, by the way. I saw that movie finally this weekend. My kids have been singing it, but I have to acknowledge really quickly some friends of mine who had a birthday yesterday. Eshawn Abraham, happy birthday to you, my friend. Lynn McGill and Cynthia Drown. Okay. Happy birthday to you guys. I'm sorry I missed you yesterday, and I hope you had an amazing day. All right. All right. Brittany's clapping out there. Everybody's clapping. Fantastic. I hope you guys are set up to have an amazing week this week. Don't forget to get plugged into our Discord community. The link is down there in the comments, you guys, or our text community. But I definitely recommend the Discord the way that we're going, because we're going to be having a lot of fun in there coming up very soon. Very soon. I'm excited about some things to come. So Get plugged in. Have a wonderful week. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Lee Roebeck, for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. You've been tuned in to Project Joy Live with Jessica Dugas, your weekday morning talk show, inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes only on the Breakthrough Show Network. Binge all past episodes of Project Joy at projectjoypodcast.com. Until next time, help us spread the joy by sharing this episode, and we'll see you soon.
Hello to the Breakthrough Show.